Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Coldwave Monarch ELO challenge. As you can see, we have made some changes to the deck list. Very exciting. I made a PowerPoint presentation to convey that information to you. I hope you enjoy it. Yes, I've made the decision since the last video that Abyss Soldier is not doing enough. It's not doing enough for me, and therefore it doesn't deserve to be in the challenge anymore. That being said, I recently looked through all of the kind of GOAT format, like all the cards. There's only like 1,700. And so you really can, without being accused of being crazy, go through all of them to see if there's anything that kind of catches your eye. And one thing that caught my eye was the autonomous action unit. I think it could be really good. The reason I think that is the strategy, as I've been thinking over the past couple of episodes, is it's a little bit jank in terms of we have this brain control and we have this Coldwave that do not synergize well with each other. They're two of like the backbones of the strategy, but you can't activate brain control the turn you activate Coldwave. And yet we have all of these monsters. And so I think that it would be cool to have an additional way to summon monsters from the opponent's graveyard. It's in the sideboard instead of being in the main deck because I think it's only really worth it in certain matchups. In the past couple episodes, I've been whinging about Reasoning Gate and how I think that this deck maybe isn't well equipped to deal with that, but I think Autonomous Action Unit is actually a card that could be good. You can bring back their Demock and get your own value. If they're running the variant with Chaos Monsters, you can summon back their BLS, use BLS effect to banish a card, and then tribute that BLS for a Mobius, for example, or Jinzo. And so I think it could really work out. I feel pretty strong about cutting the Abyss Soldiers because I think that the combination of Berserk Gorilla and Gigantes really will do more than we want with Abyss Soldier. And with the idea that we're going to be brain controlling to get our Monarchs out, we do want the opponent to have the monsters on board. And so we don't really want to be bouncing them. So the deck is definitely still in a transitional kind of state because it's like, does Sinister Serpent, does it make sense for it to be in the side? Does it? Should it also go? Should we remove all of the waters except for our friend Mobius and maybe Tribe Infecting Virus? I don't know. You should let me know. But let's go ahead and hop onto ladder. It's been a couple days since I recorded a video last, and you'll be able to tell that I record these in batches. And so I was able to listen to the first few that I put out on YouTube, and I found them to be pretty quiet. And so I've boosted both my own voice, but then also the audio of the music in the background. And so please let me know if everything is sounding good, if it's better. You don't have to increase your volume all the way to 100 to hear what I'm trying to say, maybe. But I'm not an audio whiz, and so I'm sure there's more improvements to be made. All right, let's get back, friends. Let's get back to this. So I'm a big fan of summoning the monster before I knock. Even if let's pretend we have like a million monsters in hand, I still want to summon whatever monster I want first and then knock, so that they don't have the knowledge of that, considering the back row. Ooh, Reaper. That's interesting. Is this zombies or is it just a spicy teched Reaper? I'm happy about this decree being set. Okay. I hope this is jar. Flip the jar. Come on. Come on, baby. Give me the jar. I'm not attached to anything in our hand, and so I don't feel bad about this duo. Coldwave. Maybe we want pre-mat more than BrainCon, because once they get rid of the gorilla, I think we're going to want it back. Oh, that's very, very funny. Because the gorilla dies, and then I can't bring it back. Oh, and I would have really loved the Mataza. Oh no. I'm in danger. Alright, let's try not to lose. Oh my goodness. That's so depressing, because I could have pre-meted, or I could have brain-controlled Mataza, attacked twice, and then summoned my boy Jinzo. Huh. Well, this is very unfortunate. I think we're going to set pre-mat just the bluff, but I think we're probably going to lose here. Yeah, we got to see if our sideboard has some cards that might help us deal. Oh no, he's styling on me. Oh, he's huge. Am I dead? Oh my god, I'm dead. No, am I? No, I'm not dead, right? That's 58. I am dead. That's crazy. I'm a. Do I give him the GG well played, or do I just not because? Oh. Speaking of audio, that feels very loud. So we're gonna make sure that never happens to you ever again by turning that down. But yeah, all right. We need a comprehensive review of the deck. We don't have a whole lot of cards to summon. I think dust shoots are probably good. Swords, that. Winghu's probably good. Maybe even Serpent. I think we want the Mobius over a Grand Mark. All right, let's switch a whole bunch of cards. Is Decree even good in this matchup? I don't know. I'm gonna get rid of the last Will Stein because this seems like Mataza OTK, and I don't want to help him out with that mission. Brain Control seems good. Nobleman. He had Reaper. We only just saw the one Reaper. We'll get rid of you and you and you and you. No. Maybe not the Gilosauruses. I'm gonna hit him with the Think. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 more cards. They should be ideally some monsters. Maybe we don't want spies. Maybe we do. Gilosaurusus is hilariously level 3, so we should probably keep it in. Yeah, I'm just not really well prepared for this matchup, I don't think. Alright, we gotta start cutting cards. Braincon, maybe 1 Gigantes. How many more do I need? 2 more. Ooh. I think maybe Call of the Haunted's too slow. And 1 knock? Alright, we're gonna roll with that. That was not an ideal sideboarding process because it was made entirely arbitrarily. But maybe we can get ourselves through. You know, in hindsight, probably should have taken out the Gorillas because they just get owned by LLab. They just get absolutely owned. I do kind of want to summon it though because I have this Nobleman of Crossout. I think I am going to. LLab, of course, just kills it, but I want him to set, and so if he doesn't have it, then he will set. Oh, that's unfortunate. we wanted all of our cards. We wanted all of them. Do I need to send the "You don't roll dice for duo" song to him? Alright, well Mobius was probably our best card in our entire hand, and so that is unfortunate. I think it might be Gilosaurusus that we kick. Okay, so Berserker is working out, I think. It is living on borrowed time though, because an LLab will eventually kill him. We're not going to Coldwave, of course, because we want to use Nobleman. So I'm going to summon Sangan. I'm going to give him the thumb. And then our blonde boy is getting in. It's a repeat, except hopefully this time we won't just lose. If I remember right, we also got in the first time with Berserk Gorilla, and so that doesn't tell me anything. Ooh, that's spicy. Okay. So he's gonna clear our board here. Marauding Captain, I think, is a really good Yu-Gi-Oh card. I don't know if there's really a deck that necessarily takes advantage of it to its like absolute fullest potential, but it is, I think, quite good. We took out Rat, we took out Lily, which are, you know, I maybe made a huge mistake because Lily can hit under LLab. I wish I can get Tiger, but I can't. We could get Spy, but we want to take out this Marauding Captain, and so I think we're going to grab Tomato instead. Okay. We're getting close to the point where a brain control can help us just win, and so I'm tempted to Coldwave here. But how broken up am I if we attack with Mystic Tomato and he kills our Tomato? I'm not sure, because we want both these cards. I would want to get more than one card off of Heavy Storm though. But I should probably use it now. Maybe not. You know what? Sure. We'll use Heavy Storm now. Make sure Tomato lives because it's our only monster. There, Pro Set Heavy Storm. This is a gamer. He has 2,300 experience, and you can tell. People, when they're just starting to play the game, don't know the technology with Pro Setting Heavy Storm. Oh, that's not a good sign, because that's United We Stand right here. Oh, Mage Power. Well, this is an instance where it would be great if we had better target than just Spy. But we are going to get the Spy to reduce the amount of life points we lose, I think. Yeah, this is an instance where the brain control Coldwave anti-synergy is not great, right? Because we want to be able to activate both because then we'd win, but we can't because that's obviously not how the card works. I do have an Earth. I could crash with Gigantes, which would blow up all his spell traps, which I think is a nice play to do next turn if we lose, if we don't just win with BrainCon here. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. I'm throwing. Alright, let's try not to... Alright, Alright, how do we salvage this situation? We banish, and then we could set it in defense mode, and then he has to attack it. Then he has to attack it, I think. Okay, we'll do that. Maybe he forgets the second effect of Gigantes, like I forgot the second effect of Mataza. That's kind of painful. I think we kind of deserve to lose, but maybe we'll just get lucky instead. That being said, even if he attacks and we blow up his back, he still has a Mataza and we have nothing. so that's not good. Yeah, but no way. Oh my goodness, okay. Wow, this gamer is better. Oh, okay. Gillosaurus. Gillosaurus is interesting. He can get one of these. Oh, I'm not going to special it though. All right, we're going to activate Coldwave, and then we're going to attack with Gillosaurus into Mage Power. Not with Gigantes into Mataza. Blow up his backboard, and then kill the Raging Flame Sprite because we have to. That's what we're gonna do. Well, before I change his battle position, I suppose I have to activate Coldwave. I don't know if I had to do that this turn, I suppose. Yeah, I don't know if I exactly had to do that this turn, because now that Mataza's small, he doesn't necessarily pose a threat to me. Well, but he's only small. I don't know. Obviously, I'm struggling with my cognition a little bit. Struggling a little bit with my cognition. And so hopefully Gillosaurus will just carry us to the victory. We obviously need someone to help us out here. Oh my goodness. Pot of Greed. That is the someone. Boing, boing. Okay, well. Trapdash shoots the worst card ever. We could summon Gigantes, but I am kind of scared of the back row. So we're not going to. Okay, well. Almost certainly we should have summoned the Gigantes. But we didn't. I'm going to fail my way to the top. We're going to the top of the ELO. We're going to the very top. I can't believe Gillosaurus betrayed us. That's crazy. I like Space Ghost. Space Ghost has... I like him. He has a good sense of humor. Alright, we get 1,000. Alright, we could activate Coldwave again to make sure this goes through, but how much do we care about the opponent having Gillosaurus? Like, kind of not a whole bunch, honestly. So I think we're gonna save. We're gonna save it. We will be banishing the Gorilla because he is very weak to Alab. Alright, we're in a pretty good situation. Trapdash Shoot is not a good card, but his back row also seems to not be active. Okay, we could go for Gorilla for game, but again, I think we're going to be a little bit cautious. Even him taking damage there doesn't necessarily tell me that... Oh, certainly does. Alright, we're gonna correct some mistakes. We're gonna correct some mistakes. We don't want Gorilla. Gorilla's out. King Tiger Winghu is a fantastic card, and so he stays in. Maybe we even want Stein, I don't know. We definitely want Lily. I think we'll take Rat back as well. Gigante's put in some work. Brain controls are not good, and so we want Soul Exchange instead. This is the time where I kind of wish I had more Soul Exchanges in the deck, in the side, to switch out, and so we can definitely think about whether that is something that we can change. Coldwave worked out pretty well, so I wouldn't mind that. But since we're taking out so many, I think we should take out a Monarch. Maybe Mobius. I wouldn't mind the autonomous action unit, one of them, because having his monsters under his situation I think is okay. Maybe we bring back Call. Okay, he's getting progressively dumber, which is honestly really good for us because I fear I am also getting progressively dumber. No, we're gonna lock in. We're locking in on game 3. Annoying and scary. Huh. So I guess this is probably gonna be like a stall strategy. Maybe. Yeah. See, gamers do not discard Gravity Bind unless they already have a Floodgate in hand, and so he already has the other Gravity Bind or an L-Lab. Not my Gigantes. Tribe might be good, but because we already have Exiled Force, I don't know. We're lower on cards, and so we don't want to... Gillosaurus! We don't want to pitch any more than we already have. Unfortunately, Gillosaurus is bad because they have Spirit Reaper, which I could get rid of with Exiled Force, but I don't necessarily want to. So I think we just summon Sangan. And we go in. Well, that's unfortunate. So... Oh, do I special summon Gillosaurus? I don't think so, unfortunately. I don't think so. I mean, we definitely set Torrential, of course, but I think we just let him... I don't think we can let him get Spirit Reaper. I think we just lose in that case, and so yeah, he's just gonna own us. Oh no. Yeah, that's not good. Poor Gillosaurus. We've already proven he's not loyal, so we don't really want him anyway, do we? I think we saved Torrential. I think that's not that big of a deal. Alright. What do we want? What's going to stabilize us? We could get Spy. We could get Tomato. Could get Lily. I think we get Spy, probably. It's not great with our Torrential. But I know he definitely has a stall card. Like, for sure. And so getting something like Tomato won't even be good. Hey, Rat. Now the question is, do we summon Rat? Do we summon Rat? I think we do. And try to get in and force him to activate Gravity Bind. I think that's fine. Yeah. Okay. We have Torrential in our back pocket. And I think I'd rather have Spy in hand than Rat. Royal Decree. That is such a good draw. However, because of our Torrential, we ideally would like to use Torrential before we flip the Decree, and so I don't want to set Spy. We also want to use this Trap Dash Shoot. I could have waited. I kind of... Oh, that's a frown. Frown. Alright, L-Lab. Knock. Barrel. Snatch. Okay, yeah. Because he just ended his turn, I, of course, just could have waited for his next draw phase and gotten even more information, but... mistakes were made, so... Okay. Now we have more information. He has L-Lab, Knock, Barrel, and Snatch Steal. And so he can knock our boy. He can knock this, and he can Snatch Steal that. Ugh. I think we just end our turn. I could switch Rat to defense, but I don't know if it necessarily matters because we're planning on torrentialing anyway. Okay, that is actually probably the best case scenario for us. Because we'd rather him have our Rat. Ooh, think. We could flip Decree first and then Torrential. chain it, but I don't think that's necessary, so we'll flip just torrential. That was a pretty good deal. Of course, I would have liked to hit over Rat to use Rat's effect, but hey, we drew the card instead. That also means that we don't necessarily need to use Royal Decree yet. I think we do, because Lily can hit under it, and she also hits under L-Lab. Yeah, as far as we know, all the cards doesn't actually deal with Lily, so we're going to summon Lily. If we could get game with using Decree on Gravity Bind, I would, but we can't. So I shan't. Okay, well, that's unfortunate. But that's why we didn't summon Gigantes. This deck has kind of like a lot of different stuff going on. There's the boy. It's the boy. All right, what do we want? What do we want? Mataza the Zapper is so good in this situation. It's so good. We can get rid of all of the things, and more than that, I can make a funny joke with my friend Space Ghost. Was like we're gonna get him. We're gonna clear all the goats away. All right. Boink. Let's think. Let's think. Do we summon Spy? I think we do. I think we do, because we're never going to be able to set him because of knock. And so we're going to summon Spy. And we're going to attack. Oh, Spy can't attack, you're right. Hit him with the eye emoji. Oh man, I'm playing this so poorly. But you know what? I've come to terms with the fact that you guys aren't here for actual good gameplay, because you would go elsewhere for that. You're here for the comedy, and there's definitely comedy here. Oh no, L-Lab. Walk. Okay, that kind of concerns me because, ooh, that's a good card. That kind of concerns me because, is this something that is going to kill me? I don't even know what it could be. Like, I need to attack it with Lily, of course, because Matasa's probably going to be too little, but I don't know. I think we're just going to, you know what, I'm playing this so bad that we're just going to go for it. And if we lose, we lose. All right, go, my Mataza. Oh my god. Yeah, we gotta give him all the... Oh, he has so many traps. It's super tough. Oh, guys. We're struggling over here. We're struggling over here. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. Oh, okay. All right, friends. We're going over. We're going over. We're transitioning. Oh, we're transitioning. To the chart. Transitioning to the chart. We, of course, did not deserve We did not deserve that win, but we did win. And you know what that means? It means that our ELO went up. How much did it go up, you ask? It went up to 279. That is not bad, is it? 279? It's not bad. All right, we are definitely going to get another one because I am determined to show you guys some gameplay that isn't horrible. You know, you only get 2 of these episodes a week, and so this one's going to be a little bit Krongo, but we're just hanging out. Me, you, Dory, and Mystical Ref Panel together, getting W's even though we don't deserve it because we got bailed out by the heart of the cards. So, yes, on a more kind of housekeeping note, I would love it if you guys gave me some advice on where to take the deck from here. I'm obviously willing to go in basically any direction, even some cool, funny tech cards if you think will work. Let me know in the comments because there's a pretty good chance that I will definitely integrate it in the deck in some way. Especially if you have an idea about how to make the side stronger, that would be great. But even something as big as resolving the inherent conflict between Brain Control and Coldwave, I think would be really helpful. So yeah, I was happy that we got to use Autonomous Action Unit though. Wasn't that fun? It won us the duel, so maybe it's a good card. It's surprising to me that Pre-Mat is at 1, but Autonomous Action Unit is at 3. I understand that there's some downsides, like you have to rely on your opponent having resources, and you spend 1,500 life points instead of 800, but I don't know, it seems pretty good to me. Especially in our strategy in which we're trying to make use of opponents' monsters by brain conning them and then tributing them for a Monarch. I think that having the additional BM of being able to revive the monster that we tribute is pretty funny, but I don't know. I don't know whether that is just going a little bit too hard on the strategy, whether I'm committing too much, making the deck situation too fragile. I would definitely say that one of the weaknesses of this deck still, even after we made some changes, is that it doesn't have a whole bunch of great opening cards. So Autonomous Action Unit obviously makes that even worse. Hit him with the good luck, have fun. All right, our friend Denku11. Our friend Denku11 has 422 ELO and quite a lot of experience. And so we're dealing with a gamer here. I think it's definitely possible that we can jump all the way to 300 if we get this win. And so I'm going to buckle up. I'm going to think. I'm going to use my brain. And we're going to try to win this. All right, I think the best opening card here, of course, is our gorilla friend. If he dies, that's fine, because we have Gigantes. I am going to set Mirror Force, I think. Maybe I don't want to. I'm thinking about Coldwave, but then if we also draw Heavy Storm, we don't really want Mirror Force on the field. And you know what? No, we're not going to set it because, you know, nothing's really going to get over Berserk Gorilla, probably. And so the chances of needing it is going to be pretty low. Of course, he could just like throw down a Smashing Ground and then attack me with like Reaper, and then we'll be sad. Mystical Shine Ball. Yeah. Even in this case, though, right, he's attacking. I probably still wouldn't have used Mirror Force here because I don't want to keep the Mystical Shine Ball. Okay. We could Cold Wave to make sure that the play goes through, because I'm thinking about summoning Tribe and then pitching probably Knock. I could pitch Giant Rat, and then we can get in for a lot of damage with Gigantes. That's tempting. I could just summon Gigante. Ooh, you know what I want to do? You know what I want to do? Oh, I can't, though. You know, I wanted to do Cold Wave, Gigantes attack Gorilla, and then he would blow up his entire back but we need to summon Tribe in order to do that to get rid of Giant Rat. I could summon Tribe, get rid of Giant Rat to pop Tribe, then summon Gigantes and blow his back, and then we'd be under Coldwave, but then we'd have nothing, nothing on board. So, all right, we're just gonna summon Tribe. I think we're still pitching Knock. That would have been very funny though if we made that play work somehow. I think now we will set Mirror Force. This deck is interesting. It's probably Fairy Burn if I had to guess. We will be Mirror Forcing this. Because he's down to enough. Ooh, okay. The Gigantes play would have been probably not as good because he probably would have changed Jar Greed to Coldwave. But that doesn't reduce the comedy. Okay. Ooh, that is a good card. That being said, if we use Coldwave here, we can just win the duel. So, Coldwave. Okay, we win. Giant Rat. Banish the boy. Summon the other boy. That is the duel. That shows off the incredible power of Coldwave here. Definitely there was no other card in Duel Monsters that would have had us win from that situation. Definitely not. So that's great. I do think we bring in Zaborg, probably over both copies of Grandmark. Because I'm expecting some Mystical Shine Ball nonsense. King Tiger is probably good. I expect them to have lots of stuff in their graveyard, which maybe means Autonomous Action Unit can come in. I don't really want Knock, I don't think. Torrential is probably a good card. Because we have the 2 Autonomous Action Units, maybe we don't need Call of the Haunted. Delinquent Duo could be good. Maybe over 1 Autonomous Action Unit. Okay, that feels pretty good to me. We could have sided in the other Coldwave, but I think it's important just because that card won us the last duel not to tunnel on it and think it's like the best card there ever was. Zambira, okay. Giant Rat. This is interesting. So Zambira doesn't actually present a threat to us because it can't attack directly. And so we could just wait until we can draw something that gets us out of the situation. Or I could activate Graceful Charity here. I think we're just going to set Ring and pass. I could set Spy because then he attacks it. And then I just get the other Spy and we're sitting good. I think that's probably correct. Honestly, maybe you can help me understand this. I don't really get why people think Zambira is a good counter towards Spy, because you can, of course, get over the one, but then once that's there, the other one sits there, right? And so you didn't go plus. You just made your Zambira weaker. And so, I don't know. But Spy, of course, is such a pesky card that anything to get rid of even one is probably good. So yeah, what to think? Zaborg is very good here. Ooh, I think that we activate it. I don't know if I would have used it if he hadn't forced my hand, but I wanted the clean +1. Clean +1. So yeah, he presumably summons a monster. He attacks in. Probably won't get over Spy. And then we sacrifice one of the Spies for Zaborg next turn. Okay, that is equally good. Brain Con is also quite good. I think we're going to still hold on to the charity because I don't think that there's a card that I want more than Zaborg, just the summon. And we don't have an Earth Engrave. Oh, we could. We could get an Earth Engrave. So 24 plus 12 is 36. Plus 19 is not enough. Yeah, so we're going to hold on to it. We're going to flip Summon Spy. We're going to keep the other Spy in defense mode. He gave me the thumb, but he didn't kill his thing. Why does he keep giving me the thumb? Oh, okay. It was a shine ball. That is the lowest value Zaborg pop of all time. Yeah, so I think this duelist is really just getting really unlucky with their hand because they keep drawing these balls and what they want is Venus, right? Yeah, so we would have preferred this to be an attack mode to get in, but we win off of this right now. Oh my god, Gigantes is just even more. So yeah, we'll Brain Con. And for good measure, we're Summon Rat. But I think that is GG. Will we get 300 ELO? That's the question. Will it happen? Watch right here. It's gonna update. RM. Rematch. Oh, what do you guys think? Are you down for a rematch? I think we're down for a rematch. We're down for a little bit of a... We're down for a little bit of a longer playthrough, don't you think? Don't you think? I owe you maybe a little bit of a longer video this time. And I want to see what this guy was cooking. And so we are going to quickly update. We're going to update on the fly the ELO. So we're at 298. Let's quickly do that. 298. Klaplawi. Now let's get you back in the action. All right, this is the opening he wanted. Oh, only 1,000? That means that he's only going to summon 2, which means the third is probably in his hand. He could use the 500 extra to summon another one if he wanted. But that's not a great value proposition. Okay, this is an interesting situation. We could summon Breaker, attack over Agent, and then try to pop the back row, which I'm tempted to do because this is probably a Jar of Greed. Am I willing to lose based on that read? I think I might be. I think I might be willing to lose. So we're gonna go for it. We're gonna go for it. Okay. Yeah, I don't even think that we're gonna use it, honestly. I don't even think we're gonna use it. Because it's just gonna be Jar of Greed. Oh, creature swap's coming in. Alright, that's fine. You know, Breaker always gets swapped. Like, if you don't use this counter immediately, opponents are like, I have to grab this boy. But I don't know. I'm never going to set any back row. Probably. And so... Ooh, he's getting aggressive with the ball. That's crazy. But what we're going to do is Brain Con his Breaker, pop the back row, probably. And then sack it for Mobius, maybe? I want him to set even more. Set more cards. Yeah, we're taking a lot of damage here, but I'm not overly concerned. We're 53 is still very healthy. Another Gigantes is not necessarily what we want to draw. I could Brain Control and then use Breaker to get over Ninja, and then I don't have to. I don't know. This is definitely Jar. That's set more back row, please. I want to summon Mobius, but that probably just doesn't make sense. It probably just doesn't make sense, and so we could summon Exiled Force, use Exiled Force to get over Ball. Use Brain Con, get Breaker over Ninja, and then Exiled Force to pop Breaker, which clears his entire board. It'd be a 2 for 3, which is technically a +1, but the +1 is only the ball, which isn't that great. So yeah, I guess we just Brain Con and take the Breaker. It's boring, but we're gonna do it. I don't know, because I want the Mobius, you know? I could get Gigantes. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. Yeah, it's Jar, but we knew that, and so what do we want to do here? You know what? Heck it, we're gonna do the play. We're gonna do the play. We're gonna do the play because it's funny. And I do want to clear his board because I know he has the burn spells. Now, do we summon Gigantes? That is the question. He has creature swaps, and so I'm inclined not to. And now next turn we can summon Gigantes and then tribute it for Mobius to pop his back row. Oh no. Darks and two. Ew, it's the girl. She's one of my favorite cards. We almost lose because of this. We do lose because of this. Wow. Yeah, I should have summoned Gigantes. Yeah, this is just it's a scuffed episode. It's scuffed, but that's okay. All right. We don't want Grandmark. We want Zaborg. Gotta remember what changes I made last time. I really want the Nox. I brought in these two, but then I took one out for Torrential, I think. Delinquent Duo is not as good because he can just pitch one of the balls that are stuck to his hand. King Tigers are good over the Gillosauruses. Yeah, that will be sufficient. Well, his deck is very fun. It's just like lights aggro. It's not even burn, I don't think. Turn 1, King Tiger is pretty good. So we will be playing it. It has anti-synergy with Cyberstein, but I can always blow it up with Ring of Destruction. Just kidding. No, I can't. Sambaira. That's fine. Okay, so that's Sambaira. Is at 19. We could go nuts with Cyberstein. So Cyberstein can summon 42 plus 7 plus 19 is not enough. If this were literally any other monster that could attack directly, we could just win the game. But maybe we can graceful into another copy of Cyberstein, another copy of Gigantes, so we're going to try it. Huh. Okay. Berserkerilla is a good draw. We don't want Tomato because we already have Stein. I like all these other cards though, so I wish I could keep all of them. Are we gonna Stein? If we don't do it this turn, we probably will never do it, but these two cards set up it pretty well. We'll get rid of Snatch Seal, I guess. I'm 100% not afraid of any of his back row, and so I'm just going to go with Gorilla. As far as I'm concerned, he has an unlimited amount of Jars of Greed in the back. And that is all he has. So, he already used an MST, so I'm going to set both Torrential and Call of the Haunted. I could call back King Tiger. I could call back King Tiger. But I don't think I want to, because he's my only Earth Engrave. And I don't suspect that he'll summon and face up like any balls. Man, he keeps drawing balls. That's very unfortunate for him. Freed, okay. Does he have 2 lights? He does. Okay, we're just gonna call Gorilla back though, for sure. More tomato? No, Gorilla. I told you, he has an unlimited number of Jars of Greed. Literally unlimited amounts of them. I really like this guy's deck though. Fun fact is, like, the very first deck I ever built for GOAT format was pretty much this exact idea. I didn't use balls, but everything else was pretty similar. I think I'm in a good position, so I don't necessarily want to commit to Stein. But, you know, the longer you don't commit to it, the less worth it is. I don't know. I definitely think that we need to reconsider Stein even in this deck, because I don't think it matches necessarily my own, like, dueling philosophy. I'm very, like, gun shy about it, and it's an OTK strategy with Cyberstein, and so you really have to have some guts. And I don't have that. But what I do have is Breaker, the magical warrior, and so Cyberstein here would kill if the back row are not real. But this could be an angel. I think we'll start with Breaker. Right, this one is Jar. This one's not. So we're going with that one. Ooh, okay, so it's Return. Yeah, this deck is definitely very similar to one that I've built in the past. But okay, so 38. Okay, so 1 Gigantes in will... Oh, I don't have another Earth Engrave. Never mind. Never mind. But yeah, another Gigantes would have been enough to kill. Imagine that this mystery card is anything but Jar of Greed. Imagine the Mirror Force that catches me off guard next turn. I think next turn, though, I will probably summon Cyberstein and then get a Ryu Senshi to protect against any traps. But yeah, Moth there was pretty good for him in terms of finding something to get him out of this situation. But I can promise you that this will be the only episode that I record today, and so I'm gonna come back tomorrow. The brain fog will be lifted. We're gonna be gaming, and we're gonna be at 300 ELO, maybe, or we'll be slightly less than what we are. Jinzo, with all your Jars of Greed. With all your Jars of Greed, you have a Jinzo. Interesting. Maybe he sided it in because he is seeing kind of like a lot of traps from me, even though I'm only running like 5. One of which is Decree. Blade Knight. That is an interesting choice considering how many cards he has in hand. Okay, he's got even more cards. Maybe he was deck thinning. Jinzo. That is fine. Because if he attacks Gigantes, Jinzo goes away. And so, the lady. She's bringing out the balls. Yeah, I'm still not necessarily very threatened because I can just use Stein to win here. Assuming that he doesn't have back row. But even if he does, there's a Jinzo up. So I don't know what to even be afraid of. I don't think there's really a spell that can just end my life. Maybe Book of Moon would be not good. Will she crash with Breaker? That's pretty smart. She did. She did attack, right? We're reviewing the tapes. Yeah, and they attacked. Okay. Maybe there's just some confusion about what call was connected to. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really afraid. Okay, well, I'm definitely not afraid. Cyberstein. Boing. And we will be getting the boy. Okay. All right. After a tough game 1 loss, we're bringing it back. Is there anything we want? Maybe Delinquent Duo would be not bad. The deck there felt pretty good though. So maybe we don't need Duo. Is there any card here that's just like not what I want? Maybe a Mobius? I don't know. Thanks. You know, that's another kind of oh my god, this person's so unlucky. what is up with them? Yeah, but that's another thing that I think is like an important aspect of the kind of community aspect of GOAT format, is that I think it's fun to play decks that the opponent also thinks is fun. Because there are a lot of decks that you can win a whole bunch with, but everyone's kind of like, yeah, that's that didn't give me the experience that I want. And we're all just doing this for fun, and so I think it's really cool when you can create something that even the opponent's like, yeah, that was like a blast that we got to play this together, you know? And so I strive to do something like that. Okay, what are we doing here? We have Cyberstein again. You know I'm a big fan. You know I'm a big fan of spending 5,000 life points. I don't think we need tomato. And maybe we don't need Heavy Storm. Yeah. Okay, so I could Brain Control, summon Zaborg, and then kill with the Zaborg. That would clear their board. I could Cyberstein, get Gatling Kraken, and that probably also would clear the board. I think I'm gonna do that actually, because I don't think that he'll be able to kill me in 1 turn. Ugh, but it's much more high rolly, I think. It's much more high rolly because he does still have a lot of cards. So I could save Cyberstein for when I like know I can just win, when I can activate Coldwave. Yeah, so we're gonna do that actually. We're gonna do the Zaborg play. Oh, we're lagging a little bit. Thank you. Okay. The back row, of course, is just no way. Well, I'm really glad I didn't do Cyberstein. I would have just lost, and you guys would have memed on me very hard in the comments, wouldn't you? Yeah, we're in a pretty bad spot here, actually. 48 is not... He doesn't have a whole bunch in grave. I mean, yeah, honestly, though, he can... Let's say that he gets Soul, Purity, and Light, and then plus like a Sasuke. That would be 38 with Mystical Shine Ball. That's almost enough to kill me. Oof. Oof. I think Dinku might get his revenge here. Though he's also at 46, and we have some power cards in our hand. Exiled Forest plus Coldwave plus Gigantes is very, very strong. Oh no. I don't even know what I wanted to get rid of other than Stein, of course. Well, he didn't like the 4. What's wrong with 4? He really doesn't want a 4. Huh. Okay. Yeah, we don't want Cyberstein anymore. So that actually wasn't that bad. All it did was get rid of our Exiled Force that we could have used to trade with a card. But maybe we get a better normal summon next turn, and so we wouldn't have even wanted it. It is definitely possible. Yeah, Sasuke. Just looking at my graveyard. This is pretty intense, isn't it? We're coming down to the wire. He didn't switch Shine Ball to attack mode, which I think is interesting. I wonder if there's like a huge downside to going in. I could attack over it, but if I'm attacking over it instead of Sasuke... Oh, wouldn't that be funny if I had Shine Balls in my graveyard or my deck? I could use their effect. Would be pretty funny. I think we're going to banish attack over that, and then next turn use autonomous action unit because I think we're going to play Coldwave. So Coldwave first, banish our only Earth. Get Gigantes. And attack over the boy. Yeah, so this is pretty good in terms of if we can get really any normal summonable monster and he can't clear Gigantes next turn, we will be doing well. Tribe. Ooh. Ooh. I think I prefer autonomous action unit getting Sasuke over the possibility of a tribe pop. Though this could be Shining Angel. Oh, that's so tough. That's so tough. I think we summon Tribe instead. Yeah. We'll summon Tribe instead. We'll attack with, I guess, Gigantes. Though, is there anything that... No, we're going to attack with Tribe. I don't think there's anything. I guess it could be DD Warrior Lady. Moth. Ugh. That's rough. Okay. Oof. We're not a great spot. Would we have been in a better spot if we had gotten Sasuke? Maybe, because then he'd be on a 1-turn clock, but I could set autonomous action unit, but I also don't think that's a good idea because I want it to pitch to Tribe. I think we'd probably lose this turn, and if we don't lose this turn, then we probably win. So this is going to be for DD Warrior Lady, I guess. Oh no, it's probably for Freed. Zambira. Okay, I would have maybe done Freed if he doesn't have Soul of Purity and Light in hand. Well, he already has Freed. Then why get Reinforcement of the Army? That's the question. He banished the card I wanted. Both the cards I wanted. It's almost like he knows I have the card. Why? His ordering is a little bit weird for me. But yeah, that's very unfortunate that he banished Sasuke, because Sasuke was going to be my answer. Yeah, he could have kept banishing lights though, even if I had gotten it last turn. So I don't think I necessarily misplayed. So what we want here is probably Zaborg. King Tiger Winghu. We know he has Zambira. And so I think we probably just summon Winghu and trade. Because Zambira's not going to threaten me. But with 2,900, it's not a great amount of life. Do I set autonomous action unit? I think still no. Maybe. You know what? Yeah. I can bring back their own freed. I don't have lights in my deck to use. Okay, that's fine. That's fine, because Breaker attacking in here would have put me under the range to use autonomous action unit anyway. That's GG's. That's GG's, my friend. Yeah, we were in a real bad spot there. Decreased by 5. That's the biggest decrease we've had in the challenge so far. So yeah, that was a really fun set of matches, I think. We definitely could have played it better. I definitely don't want to make any sorts of changes to the deck yet, because I'm feeling a little bit off as a duelist. As a duelist, I'm feeling off. As a person, I'm feeling great. And I hope you are feeling great, and I hope you will tune in to the next episode.